Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Tally Faye. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's beautiful out there. A little bit breezy, but it still turned off to be a beautiful day. I figured I'd get in here today and show y'all how to make a turkey pot pie. And I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to do a turkey pot pie, and while I've got the dumpling thing going on, I'm going to show y'all how to make a pot of berry dumplings on the stovetop. But that'll be the second video. First thing we're going to do is get this turkey pot pie going. So I have my broth over here cooking, and I'll show that to y'all in a minute. But all I did was went in my freezer, and I saved this stuff, right? It's the perfect size for Buzz and I. You know, if you got a family or whatever, you probably would save up bigger bags of it or whatever after Christmas or Thanksgiving and stuff. But I just had a quart bag of, this was turkey broth, filled with all the good turkey broth, and it had the fat and everything in there and stuff, you know, for all the good flavor, that kind of thing. And then I had a quart bag, which I've got this, I'm not putting it in there yet, of my turkey meat that I had pulled, see? So it's just a little old quart bag of turkey meat, the perfect size for Buzz and I. I'm going to do it in this little 2-quart dish here. See, I've got it greased already, and that's going to make us the perfect size one. You could do it like in a pie plate if you wanted to. I just like doing this because it's a little bit deeper, and I get more broth and stuff. That's my purpose of doing it in a little deeper dish, just because I like the pot liquor thing going on in there, right? So what I've done, I'll go ahead and show y'all that, and then I'll bring the phone back over here. I tell you what I'm going to do first is I've got one small onion. I've got it cut in half here, but see, it's a small onion. I'm going to cut this small onion up, and then I have a handful of some celery pieces that I had saved in the refrigerator. And so I'm just going to take them and cut them up and put them in this broth while it's simmering over here. And like I say, I just put it in there from a frozen state right into the pot and added me some more water to it, because we're going to be having to add, you know, some spices and stuff to it to bring it to life. But just the turkey broth itself is a great start. And I'm going to cut these celery pieces and stuff up little, because I really want them to kind of cook down in there. I don't care about having the celery bites in it. I'm mainly wanting it for the flavor in there, in that broth, to help that broth. So that's why I'm going to do this small onion in there too while that's simmering. And that'll be good. So it's going to have some celery and onion in there, and I've got my turkey broth simmering. And then we're going to take it, and I've got a little bit of like garlic powder over there, and some salt and pepper. And I'm going to add some chicken bouillon powder to it as well. So that means I got to be careful with my salt, right? I'm going to add that bouillon. It's salty. But see there, that gives me about I don't know that it's a cup, but we'll call it a cup. It's about a cup of chopped celery and onion. And I'm just going to take it. Can you see my... Yes, okay. I'm just going to take this and put it in my pot over here. Like I say, it's already simmering. And I'm going to show y'all that I have in there one kind of medium size and one kind of small potato in there boiling whole, because I don't want them, I think, you know, if you cut them up and tried to do that in the little cubes and stuff and boiled it, by the time you did that and then put it in your pot pie and it baked and everything, I think they just almost mush away, right? So what I'm going to do, let me show you. What I'm going to do here is take these potatoes. See, I've got one there and one there. And I'm going to let them sit here and boil in this turkey broth while I let it simmer and stuff and do my dumplings and get them all ready and everything for it. My dumplings and my crust and stuff. So I'm just going to add, let me try it right there. I've got some garlic powder. I'm just going to add that in here just to give it some flavor. Gonna add a little bit of this chicken bouillon, right? Get me a little spoon. I'm gonna put about 2 heaping teaspoons in there of that. We want it to have some flavor because all the vegetables and the dumplings and stuff and everything, they tone it down a lot, right? So here we go. We're gonna put some black pepper in here. And I believe that will work for our, so you can kind of smell of it and smell that it's, you know, got that flavor going on in there. You can smell all the seasonings and stuff. So I'm just gonna let it sit there and simmer. I want it simmering a little more than that. Well, it'll kick up after a minute. But I'll show y'all, because this is gonna be on my second video, but I'm gonna show y'all. I got them just sitting here almost, they're very low, but I have my berries in here. And I'm gonna add sugar and butter and cinnamon and stuff like that to this, and then we'll just end up dropping dumplings in here just like you would if you were making a pot of chicken and dumplings. But that is some good stuff right there, y'all. But that's on the second video. They're just cooking right now. So right now we're just gonna leave this sitting here simmering, and we're gonna get our dumplings made up. And I have my meat over here. I'm not gonna put my turkey meat in there right now. We'll wait on that. So, oh, and my vegetables. See, I just have a frozen bag of these are the mixed vegetables. I really prefer just the peas and carrots, but, you know, it doesn't bother me if we have to use this. They're good in it, so that's what I'm going for on that. Oh, well, I'll show you the berry thing later. All right, main thing here that we're fixing to work on is our dumplings. We know the process, right? By now, huh? We know what it is. But I'm gonna do it again. I have all-purpose flour in my bowl, and I've took my hand and I just made me out a little well in it, like this. A little old well, as Mama called it. And I got me some shortening here. I'm gonna do me 1 and 2. 2 hunks of shortening, okay? All right, now let me get me some buttermilk. Shake it up good. And just pour it in there. Pour it in your well, okay? And it just so happens I have a little old piece of a glass of milk sitting here. I'm not going to let it run. I'm just going to pour that in there with it. But I have my buttermilk in here, and then I'm going to add a good pinch of salt to it today, because I like a little salt in the dumplings in the pot pie and in the, okay, my oven's ready at 400 when I get ready to put my pot pie in there. I like a little bit of salt in those dumplings in that berry cobbler. That way you get some kind of, you know, a little salt in there with all that sweet that's in the pot liquor and the berries and stuff and everything. But anyway, we're gonna get our dumplings made first. First things first. So I'm just getting over here and getting the shortening. Ah! It's the Tally-Fay way, right? Let me get my shortening squeezed up in there. Kind of get it all sorted out a little bit. Everything's over there simmering on the stove. So, you know, this is just a way of utilizing your foods and stuff that, like I say, you know, this is turkey from, I don't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas that we had the turkey. When was that, baby? Did we have turkey at Thanksgiving or Christmas? Oh, it was the New Year's thing? Yeah, okay, okay. Anyway, from the holidays. So, I just took that, you know, what we had left, and took that meat and pulled it all off of there and put it in that little old bag, and then all the stock from it, I let it cool down, you know, and then I just poured it up in that bag and put it in the freezer, and here it is. You know, we're into March now, and so it's, I don't know, it's a perfect time to go in there and dig something out of the freezer and use it. Use it. It's not costing a thing today for it, you know? I mean, I'm using the flour and shortening, you know, and some buttermilk to make dumplings. Well, that's nothing. Well, the turkey meat and broth and everything, we've already used that, so what we're using now is, you know, basically I consider that nothing. All right, it's starting to get stiff, see? Starting to gather that flour in it. Just whirling it around in there a little bit and letting it pick the flour up all on its own. But, you know, I've got that little old bag of frozen vegetables. And, you know, I could have, I mean, you can use like a can of peas, the canned sweet peas. They do work good in it. And I've got carrots in the refrigerator, you know. You can do it for little to nothing. And most of the time, pot pies are a hit. Well, this one happens to be turkey. Most of the time when I make them, they're chicken. But you can make chicken pot pies and turkey pot pies and ham pot pies and all that. Get it where I can get it out of this bowl now. And we're going to want to make it stiff for dumplings. And we'll also use it for making the crust. But I'm going to go ahead and get me some flour on my board now. Make sure I got it here. There we go. Okay. Get it where I can get it out of this bowl. All right. Start working some flour into it. Give me some pieces out of there that I felt. You just have to get that flour worked in there. Get it good and stiff. Because we're going to roll it out thin. I like to roll it out thin for them dumplings. Any of my dumplings like that, I like to roll them out thin. They've got good texture to them, because some people have problems with the texture. I just can't imagine people not liking like chicken and dumplings and stuff, but I do know a few people that don't like them. But they say it's because of the texture of a dumpling that they don't like, you know. Well, I think that's what we like, is that texture. But when you do it stiff like this, it gives it a you know, a good in-between in there. We get our dumpling thing that we're searching for, and they get a bite of something that thing they're looking for, almost like a noodle, I guess. I don't know. I just know I love dumplings. It's not stiff enough here. Add me some more flour, and I'm just going to fold it over in there to it. Try not to make a mess, but I'm not good at not doing that, right? It's not sticking to my board, so I must be getting there. And something I've seen that I've never done and want to try is that you can fry these little dumplings. You can fry them and then season them up, you know, like with sugar and cinnamon. You can do them like that, or you can put like garlic seasonings on them and stuff. And anyway, they're delicious fried, apparently. So that makes a neat little side thing for the kids to eat on. Give them something, not just the kids though. Guarantee I'll be eating on them. Okay. I believe we are there. We have dumpling dough. So, what I'm going to do here first, I'm just going to squeeze me a piece of it off like that. Get me some flour on my board. Squeeze me a little more flour in there while I've got it in a smaller ball. Make them stiff. Okay. All right. Let me get this off my hands. Got that dry flour on there, and that's all you got to do is rub it, and you'll just take that all that wet dough just about right off your hands. Much easier than trying to wash it off, that's for sure. See? Now all I got to do is wash that off, and I'm good to go. Okay. Let me check my broth here. I'm going to fill one of these potatoes and see if they're done. Just get me a fork and poke it. And that thing is done. Let me get a little bowl here and set them out to the side now. See, I just got them boiled whole like that, and now I'll take them here in a little bit, let them cool off, and I'll take them and chop them up when I get ready to put the vegetables in there. Get my favorite rolling pin from one of my most loved ladies ever, Miss Trent. She was a sweetheart. Roll these out all the way, probably, because I got a big thing of dough there. I want to almost get it to where I can almost see through it, you know. That's what you're looking for. That's when you know you're getting there, when you can kind of see through it a little bit. That tells you that you are there. You are there. Okay? Now, I'll get my little pizza wheel. We're just gonna come down through here. My little squares cut. And they're obviously not sticky because they're sliding right off the board, which is a good thing. We want that. I'll cut that right along that edge if I can there. Try this. Some kind of way to get that one. It was hanging over the edge. Okay. My little thing here. First thing I want to do though before I add my dumplings is taste of my pot liquor in here. Remember I've told y'all before that, let me put it back up here. Told you before that I don't like to have to be adding anything to it after I start dropping my dumplings in there. I want all that part to be ready. I want to make sure the seasoning and everything else is all good, because you know, if you start trying to add seasonings and stuff in there after you've got your dumplings in it and your, you know, everything, it just, you know, they'll like stick to the dumplings or, you know, wad up on you in there and everything. It's not the same as the distribution of it when it's just the liquor, pot liquor all by itself, thin, and everything mixes good. I believe it's ready. We are good to go. Alright, so I'm going to crank the fire up and get it boiling. We want it boiling when we do that. So now, just going to get me some dumplings piled up on here. Just using my knife coming across there. Get some of that flour off of them. You set this down here and I'm going to do this. Kind of do it like that. And that'll shake the flour off. And see, like with this pot pie, you don't need a whole bunch of dumplings. They're just part of it, right? Because you're going to have your vegetables in there as well. You want your vegetables and your pot liquor, and your potatoes will be in there. All right. You take us over here. Alright, I've got it boiling good, so I'm just going to start dropping them in there. Stir it up a little bit. You don't want them sticking together, so if you kind of stir it around gently, they'll be apart in there and cook separately. It don't take nothing for them to cool it down and stop that boiling though. So you have to kind of be careful with that. Get back up to boiling for me. The last thing I'll do after I get my dumplings done is put my vegetables in here. I'll just sprinkle my vegetables in there and my meat and my cut up potatoes, and we'll be ready to ladle it in there. Just dump it all in the pot and put us a crust on it, and we'll have us a pot pie going. A turkey pot pie. Sometimes I put a bottom crust in it and sometimes I don't. Give me a few more. Actually, I think this one sheet of dough was perfect for the amount of dumplings that I wanted. So I just got the rest of them off of there. I'm gonna add them. Stir that around. Let these dumplings cook a minute before we add those frozen vegetables and stuff, because they will stop the cooking process on the dumplings. Let me show you how they're starting to look. See? Getting them stirred up in there. We got lots of juice, good flavored juice in there. And I want that to kick back up to a boil. I'll put y'all back over here, because you can see me across there. What I'm fixing to do now is get my, where are they at? My bag of mixed vegetables. And this is a 1 pound bag of them. So like for this little pot pie, I'm calling it a little one. It's not little, but it's not like a big old 9 by 13 pan either. So you'd use, probably, if you were making a 9 by 13 pan, you'd use this whole bag of vegetables. Pretty much just double what I'm doing with it, right? I'm going to start boiling again, though. Let it boil, cook those dumplings good. I don't want to rush them. I'm going to let them cook, I tell you. I'm going to let them cook for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and get our crust rolled out. Okay? I'm just going to take part of this right here. About that much is probably all I'll need. Roll it out enough for that, and I'm going to kind of fold it. You see that got put a tear in it, but that's all right because I'm fixing to fold it anyway. But I want to fold it and roll them back into it, and it gives it layers of crust, right? If you do that, when you put it on there and it bakes, it'll be in layers. That's where you get your flaky crust from. So roll those layers into it. Turn it over. Now I can get it rolled out where I want it. Okay. That should be good. Just going to leave that sitting there. Come over here and we'll drop these vegetables into it. Like I say, I think I'm going to put probably about half of this bag in there. You see what that looks like. I believe that'll do. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop my turkey meat in here. Let it get distributed all good through there. I'm going to wait just a minute to put the potatoes in there. But I can go ahead and cut them up. Where's my little, what I did with my other, oh, there it is. I'm just going to cube these up and just gently stir them in there. Just to give you a potato bite here and there, right? What I may do, rather than try to stir them in there, is sprinkle them in there. I'm going to take that a minute to start boiling again. But see, what I'll do is get me my, where is it at? I'm going to get this thing with the holes in it. Then I'm going to ladle them, pull it up out of there and put my stuff in it. And then I'll ladle however much juice I want in it, right? And then ladle some more, you know, I'll sprinkle some potatoes then. And then ladle some more of the vegetables and dumplings, and then finish off with the potatoes, and then ladle the rest of the juice on it. And then we'll top it with our crust. And it's ready to go in the oven. Other than putting a little bit of butter on the crust. I hope I don't forget that. Sometimes I forget to do that. And I don't know how long to tell y'all on these times. Sometimes I realize I forget to tell y'all the times on this stuff, and I don't mean to do that, but you know, you just have to watch it. Whatever it is, you know, just watch it, and you know when something's done by looking at it or reaching there and feel of it, you know, or if you have to, if it's something that's, you know, breads or something, get you a toothpick and put in it. Do the toothpick test on it, you know, if you're not sure about it. But that's where you learn. You learn in time with that, you know, how it looks and how it feels more than anything. So, that comes with practice. Waiting on this, it's still got to, let me show y'all what it's looking like in the pot. See, it's just cooking down like this, and so we're just going to take that spoon with the holes in it and lift this all up and put it in there, and then take the ladle and get us some of just the juice and put that over it. But see, we want this to kick back up to a boil before we go to getting it out of there. But it should be delicious. Turkey pot pie from the freezer. Stuff from the freezer. I got a lot of stuff in the freezer that I can go back there and dig around in it and find and create meals. That's part of it too, is being creative, you know. A lot of times I like to make salads and stuff out, like the leftover meats and stuff. Like one of my favorite things with roast beef is making a roast beef salad with it, like you would tuna fish or chicken salad or whatever. But with that roast beef, you just take it and chop it up, and you use dill pickles and mayonnaise in it, and salt and pepper, and it is delicious on a fold-over sandwich. It's that chopped up, shredded up beef roast in there. It's delicious with the dill pickles all chopped up, and I guess you could put onion in it, but that's one thing I don't eat. I don't put onions in that. It's just the pickles and the mayonnaise and the salt and the pepper. Okay, I'm turning this off. I think I can bring y'all over here and set y'all by the pot and watch how I do that on it. About the ladling it in there and stuff. I'm going to put it right there. I'll get my bowl and my potatoes. I'm going to set them over here for a minute. That was hot. What did I do with my, there it is. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my bowl that I put the shortening and stuff in. I'm just going to drain this out of here, all right? See? So I'm going to start off with that. See how much I've got in there? You tell like that, and now I'm going to take some of my potatoes. I'm just going to put a potato bite here and there. Okay. Now, I'll just get me a cup. Dip it in there. Okay. Now I'm just going to get me a cup and just come over here and put all my pot liquor juice in there, okay? Do that. Now, we ladle again. Do it like that. Come over here, and I'm going to spread it out evenly in there, try to. See, this still makes a big, that's a lot of pot pie in there. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of these potatoes in there. Spread them out a little bit. Get some potato bites in there. And now try to get the rest of this up as much as I can. And put those delicious dumplings in there. It's probably the best bite in there. It's those dumpling bites. Okay. And I think it's got enough pot liquor in there. There's still, look at that, there's still a lot of that left in there. I'll let that cool and save that up, and I'll do something with that. So let me get this over here, and I'll show you how I get the top on it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it and roll it out right here. And I can set my bowl down. Are you close enough you can see everything? It's all good. It's gonna be delicious, y'all. Look at this. Can you see all that? Look at that. Okay. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna get this crust across it. And all that extra, I'm just going to take it and fold over into the edges. Just bring it over like that. Like I say, it's not pretty. It ain't pretty when you do it like this, but it's delicious. And that gives you lots of good crust on the top. See if I can go around there and flute it a little bit. Try to seal it up in there somewhat. Try to spread it out a little bit so it'll kind of bake evenly. But that should make some good layers. Do it like that. And we are ready to go in the oven. Let me see if I do it there. So you can see how I just folded it back over it and then stretched them across the top of the top, right? And then, like I say, I always get me a cookie sheet, put it on there, and we will put this in the oven. It's on 400 degrees, and we'll see how long that takes. I'll try my best to remember to tell y'all how long it took for this to cook. But I'm just going to watch it and we'll see. And then I'll come back and show that to y'all. And we'll do those berry dumplings. So we'll be back.